Well, a warm welcome to you, wherever you're joining us from.
We know you're watching all over the world. Getting ready to tip things off here in Turkey.
Welcome to Belgrade.
Welcome to Almere, Netherlands.
Good evening. Welcome to Montenegro.
Welcome to Chemnitz, Germany.
Welcome to Prague, Czech Republic.
Welcome everyone to Antwerp, Belgium.
And welcome to Torino in Italy.
And welcome to Burgos, Spain.
Welcome to Ljubljana, Slovenia.
An historic day in basketball. This is a day when basketball comes home.
Coming up in the show, we review all the action from the first FIBA European World Cup qualifying window. There's reaction from across Europe as we find out what the players think of the results. And we'll bring you the best plays from across the world as the qualifiers go global. We can only start in one place, Group A, with Eurobasket champions Slovenia and European heavyweight Spain both in action. They both had fairly easy first games, Spain dispatching Montenegro on the road.
Spain's dominance, even in their youth, just able to come to the forefront.
And Slovenia overcoming Belarus on home court.
The European champions have started their World Cup qualifying campaign in bright fashion.
But they were just a warm-up for what many saw as the game of the window.
Us and Spain are the best teams in this group.
The task is the hardest any team could face in this qualification.
The first quarter was tightly contested in Burgos, with the Slovenians finishing at 1 ahead. But from then on, Spain took control. They dominated the second, outscoring their opponents by 7 to go into the half in the lead. It was a similar story in the second half for the home side. Spain opened up a huge gap thanks to a great spell at the end of the third and the start of the fourth. Slovenia staged a late comeback, but they were playing for pride at that point as Spain held on for the victory.
We were on the losing side this time, but okay, we have against Spain at our home court. Of course, we're going to try to win that game.
Playing in Slovenia is tough, with a hostile environment. Starting 2-0 is much better for us. Our mission was to win at least one, and we achieved both.
For the beginning, one win, one loss is not too bad, but we have to keep on fighting, keep on trying our best.
Apart from the obvious difference in points, the other big difference was in rebounds. Spain grabbed 10 more rebounds than their opponents and dominated the offensive boards on their way to victory. In the group's other game, Montenegro picked up an easy win over Belarus to end their first window with a victory. So Spain finished the window at the top of the pile, and it's Montenegro who sits second ahead of the Slovenians on points difference. We move on to Group D next, where Italy and Croatia were the favourites to make it not only to the next round of qualifiers, but to the World Cup too. And while Italy had it all their own way against Romania...
But a terrific game at 75-70, the final score in Turin.
Things weren't as straightforward for Croatia in their clash with the Netherlands. The hosts jumped into an early lead. Yannick Frank had an outstanding night for the Dutch, making 9 of 11 shots from the field. They were still ahead going into the final quarter, giving the visiting side a mountain to climb. And in the end, it was too much to claw back, as the Netherlands pulled off the first shock of the window.
They have broken the form book here, and what a way to start their FIBA World Cup 2019 qualification.
We lost the game, we expected to win.
It's surprising, but Netherlands play a strong, tough defense.
Hope we're going to play the same intensity that we played in Netherlands, and I hope we will win the game.
The Croatians were looking to put things right against the Italians in their second game. And when they opened up an early 12-point lead, it looked like things were going their way. But that was as good as it got for Croatia. Italy roared back thanks to 25 points from Amadeo Della Valle to seal a comfortable win.
I think in the second game in Croatia, We play really good basket, so we are happy.
Croatia, with the start of 0-2 is the most surprising thing for me. Like we see in the last European Championship, like everybody can beat everybody. There's not bad teams anymore, so if you're not 100% in the game, you're going to lose that game for sure.
Meanwhile, the Netherlands couldn't build on their shock victory, going down to Romania in their second game of the window. So Italy lead the way after the first two games, while the table doesn't make good reading for Croatia, who have it all to do in February. In the first Americas qualifying window, reigning champions USA kicked off Group C with an 85-78 win against Puerto Rico. They then followed that up with a demolition of Mexico. Brazil also made it 2 from 2 with an 86-73 triumph over Chile in Group B, followed up by a 72-60 defeat of Venezuela. Here's a look at the best of the action from across the continent for the first window.
Barea, alley-oop pass! How about that? The slam from Batista, the alley-oop jam! Wasn't sure he was going to have the elevation, but he had plenty enough. Look at this. Oh, yes.
Garcia, oh, take that, says Alex Garcia. That is the dunk of the night. Wow, that's pretty special.
Alley-oop, oh my Lord, he threw it up to Smith, and he just threw it down. 6 seconds difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Barajal, Lane, just dunks it.
Throws it away. Rivera takes over. Good pass. Clavel worked it beautifully here. Oh, how about that? Clemente with a rim rocket.
Germany and Serbia came into their Group G openers looking to avoid being on the end of another European shock. The Germans were made to work hard against Georgia, with the visitors leading the game by 1 after a tight first 3 quarters. But led by 25 points from Robin Benzing, in the end, Germany had just too much and powered to victory.
We had some problems in the first half, but we made good in the second half, and we get the deserved win.
It's a very important win for us. I think it gave us some confidence.
Taking a look at the shooting percentage from both sides, you can see where the game was lost for Georgia. They were neck and neck from beyond the arc, with the visitors' 2-point shooting percentage proving to be their downfall. There were no such worries for Serbia, though, as they eased past Austria in their opener. Serbia made 11 of their 22 three-point attempts, which helped them ease to a 21-point victory margin. The Serbians were less deadly from distance in their second game against Georgia and trailed at half-time with Michael Dixon on fire.
Dixon, that's a wild, wild three.
The Strasbourg guard had 36 points and 9 assists, but couldn't prevent Serbia from taking another win. They were sent to the line 34 times, which helped Miroslav Radulica to a team-high 28 points. In the group's other game, Germany eased to a 41-point win away in Austria.
Claypets has it stolen, and he can just go all the way.
We're really happy that we won both games. I think the first game against Georgia was a big fight. In Austria, I think it was a little bit more easy. Also, road games are always tough.
That victory margin means it's Germany who top Group G after 2 games, with Serbia behind on points difference, despite having scored more. Group F got underway in the Czech Republic, with Iceland the visitors. Without their famous home support behind them, it wasn't a happy trip for them as they suffered a heavy defeat.
They tried the alley-oop. Oh my Lord, are you serious?
It was a lot closer in Bulgaria, where Finland sneaked past their host by 2 points to get off to a winning start.
Newton gets the shot off. Oh, and that's the dagger.
The tie of the window in the group saw the Czech Republic travel to Helsinki to take on Finland. It was the away side who started the stronger, racing to a 19-9 lead in the first quarter. But the Wolfpack leapt into action in the second quarter, overturning the deficit thanks to a 21-6 run.
Wide open, Huff got it. Sure Huff.
However, a solid team display in the second half ensured that the Czechs left with the win.
Great game. The drama all happened on the final quarter.
The final game of the group saw Bulgaria pick up a 77-74 away victory over Iceland. It means the Czechs top the group after the first two games, with Finland and Bulgaria only separated on points difference. There were 16 games across Asia in the qualifying window, and Australia got off to the perfect start in Group B. The Asia Cup winners thumped Chinese Taipei 104-66 before recording an emphatic 82-58 win over Japan. It wasn't a good window for the Japanese. They suffered another defeat at the hands of the Philippines in their first game. Host China got 2 wins after victories over Hong Kong and Korea. While in the same group, New Zealand had an eye-catching 133-74 win over Hong Kong. Here's all the best bits of action from Asia.
Keystone Cup's out there. Satnam Singh. Oh! Oh, what a dunk! Satnam Singh Barama. Cho has it. Little shake and bake. Puts it up. Good! How about that? Well, that came at the right time.
They've got to score, and they've got to score quickly, but surely they will. This time, rejected! Huge block by Nikolai Bashkin.
Around Brown for a second time. Brown off the pick and roll. Oh my word! A sledgehammer of a dunk from Ira Brown. Japan finishing strong. What a finish that was from Ira Brown.
Sobi goes back. Oh! Used all the force for that one, did Sobi Kenobi.
Still to come, France, Lithuania and Greece are all in action as we review the rest of the groups. We'll look back at the individual performances of the window. And the top 5 plays from the games across Europe. In Group E, 2014 World Cup bronze medalist France had a difficult fixture to open their window as they travelled to Belgium. And it was the hosts who had a deserved lead at the halfway stage.
France are all over the place there. They need some inspiration right now.
The second half was a different story as France powered back in the third, as 14 points from Edwin Jackson, coupled with some phenomenal plays from Alan Kofi.
Kofi, oh, good night, Alan Kofi. That was spectacular.
Helped France close the 13-point gap and claim victory.
France 70, Belgium 59. Wonderful game.
That comeback was down in part to some solid shooting from the French. They made 48% of their 56 shots compared to Belgium's 35%. Also in Group E are perennial achievers Russia, who took on Bosnia and Herzegovina. With Russia taking a small lead after the end of the first quarter, the score was 44 apiece at half-time in Sarajevo.
It is as tight as it can be.
Russia's Vitaly Fritson, who finished the game on 25 points, was a constant threat throughout. But Bosnia had their own shooter in Zanan Musa. His 18 points helped the Dragons record one of the biggest shocks of the opening window.
What a game here in Sarajevo.
We expected a tough game and we really gave our best in that game.
It's a team that fight all the time. They are very smart basketball players.
We gave our best on the game and we put a lot of energy, a lot of effort.
Russia did manage to bounce back in their next game at home to Belgium with a 76-69 victory. And at home to Bosnia and Herzegovina, France made it 2 from 2 with a comfortable 84-65 win to take the top slot in Group E. Belgium sit bottom while it's a win apiece for Bosnia and Russia. In Group B, the tie of the window came on game day 1 as Turkey welcomed Latvia. And it was the visitors who pressed the action early.
Bloom says, well, if you're not going to let me shoot it in there, I'll just step out and hit another three-pointer.
They led 20-14 at the end of the first quarter. But to the delight of a vociferous home crowd, Melih Mamutoglu's 24-point haul helped Turkey overpower their opponents and avenge their summer Eurobasket defeat to Latvia in the process. As well as Mamutoglu's points, it was strong defense that helped Turkey come back. They picked up 12 steals compared to Latvia's 5. Elsewhere, Ukraine opened their account with a victory over Sweden.
And the Ukraine get the win. A really valiant effort, though, from Sweden.
That set up a battle of the unbeaten teams in Kiev against Turkey. In an incredibly close contest, Sergei Gladier's 20 points put Ukraine within touching distance of victory. But it was not enough for the Ukrainians as Turkey claimed a narrow win thanks to a 15-point haul from Tolga Getchum.
Turkey is a good team, so it's not like a big deal that they started with 2 wins.
Turkish captain Mamutoglu, it's a very dangerous player.
For me, that's no surprise that they started 2 wins, so they're going to be a tough opponent every team they're going to face.
In the group's final game, Latvia picked up the win with an 82-73 defeat of Sweden in Riga. So the standings for the group look like this. Turkey took maximum points to sit top ahead of Ukraine and Latvia, with Sweden winless. Afrobasket champions Tunisia impressed in the African qualifying window, starting off with a 96-56 trouncing of Guinea, before pummeling Chad 101-40 in their second game. And with African teams playing 3 times in the window, they made it 3 victories by defeating Cameroon. Group C contained Angola, who began their campaign with a 62-56 triumph over Morocco, and followed that up with a 68-64 win against Egypt. The Angolans then went 3 from 3 with a 73-64 victory against Democratic Republic of Congo. Here's a look back at the best action from Africa.
Bounce pass for for the dunk. A little bit of facial on Orabi.
Last attempt there for Congo. Oh, look at that! Oh, silly. He throws it down. Colby on Nzuli. Nzuli breaks the press. Oh, throws it down! Holy cow! Jeremy Nzuli slams it.
Barodu hustles down the floor. Oh, what a dunk from Tuita on the fast break. They got to hurry. The long one from Pathman Court, and he's hit the 3. What a play at the end of the first quarter. You better put that on the highlight reel. Here it is again, Munanga Shamba.
Lithuania was seen as the team to beat in Group C going into the qualifiers, and it only took them 1 game to prove everyone right.
Lithuania 99, go 61, a winning start for Lithuania.
Meanwhile, a strong second-half display took Poland past Hungary in the group's other Game Day 1 encounter.
Final score, Poland 70, Hungary 60.
Those 2 winning sides faced off in the second game day of the group, and it was Mike Taylor's Polish side who flourished early on. But from the second quarter onwards, it was one-way traffic from Lithuania. 18 points from Aimantas Benjus helped the men in green secure a comfortable victory.
Pretty much every single category of the game being dominated by the men in green.
We are happy to have those 2 victories out of 2. We won both games, but you know, every new game starts with a new story.
Meanwhile, 20 points apiece from Christian Wittmann and David Vojvoda saw Hungary topple Kosovo. Lithuania's undefeated start firmly puts them on top of the group, while Poland's win over Hungary is the only difference between the sides. We finish in Group H, which got underway with an enthralling game between Great Britain and Greece in Leicester, England. In an incredibly close contest throughout, the score was all square at half-time.
Soko, wide open, dunk the ball, young fella! And the crowd love it, they get into this one.
Ioannis Barousis stood out for the Greeks with a highly impressive 27 points and 8 rebounds.
Nobody stepped out, and he just took it all the way and dunked it.
While Dan Clark led the way for GB with 17 points. Ahead by 2, Greece was seemingly in control until this happened.
Oh, turn it over! Lawrence, 3 seconds. And he makes it up. He ties the game up. We're going into overtime.
With neither team managing to get a clear advantage over the other in overtime, a moment of magic was needed to settle the tie. And it came from Greek guard Giannis Athanaou.
Deep 3. Oh, my Lord. Hits the big 3. And the crowd absolutely love it. He says, look at the name. Remember it.
Anything could happen, so you really have to be prepared every time.
Those bigger nations got to be prepared for a fight in every game. You can't underestimate any team.
Qualification is always difficult, especially when you play on the road.
In the other opening fixture of the group, Israel picked up an 88-68 win over Estonia. In the group's second games, Estonia recovered well from that defeat to beat Great Britain in Tallinn. While Greece had a comfortable win against Israel. Greece's undefeated start means that they occupy top spot in Group H, with Israel second from Estonia on points difference. Fourth place GB have it all to do in the next round of qualifiers in February. Ahead of that, here are the top 5 plays from this window.
So there's Masamba. Got a plan. Shellbomb goes up and gets rejected.
Kofi. Oh, good night, Alan Kofi. That was spectacular.
Oh, what a pass! Put it on the highlight reel.
Jeftenal throws it back outside. Nice little feint, and he drives. Oh, yes, Charlotte Kloof. Get yourself on the highlight reel, my friend.
Oh, upstairs! Go to the top floor and throw it to Antetokounmpo.
There were plenty of stars on show in the first qualifying window, but here are the players who really put their stamp on things.
Dixon for 3. Dixon, great pass out here. 3 is good from Bokolashvili. And with Michael Dixon in charge, they are going to be very, very good.
He is exceptional, folks, at his craft. Steps back, puts up a 3. Got it! He is clutch! Folks, just write it down. The man is the best shooter in Europe. He is phenomenal.
Oh! Where did he come from? It doesn't matter where he came from, you know where he was. Go to the top floor and throw it to Antetokounmpo. To the foul line, goes upstairs. Antetokounmpo having fun.
So that was the first FIBA World Cup qualification window in Europe.
Gap inside, super finish.
There's more to come in February.
Right on cue. Oh, look at that. Crosses him up.
Back to block, good ball movement. Miles Hansen throws it down. And young Teddy Okafor just gets Papadopoulos on the ground. 4-3.
Scott Allen dunks for two.
Oh my Lord! And the crowd absolutely love it.